Hello everyone, this is the story of how I became a full-time day trader at just 21 years old. My name is Tay, and right when I turned 18, scrolling through TikTok, stuff like that, and I'm seeing stuff about options, trading options, and so when I turned 18, I decided to open my investment account on Webull to start trading. And initially, I didn't really have that much money to trade with, so my parents gave me $2,000 to trade options. And with most things that you like, with most people that start learning how to trade and everything, when you put money into it, most of the time you're gonna lose it. And so I lost about like 1.3K before I decided, yeah, maybe I should learn more before I actually start using my real money. I wanted to keep trading, but if I didn't have money coming in constantly, then I wouldn't be able to trade. So when I turned 19, I ended up getting a job at McDonald's. And you know, McDonald's is fun, but it's whatever, you know. So I worked there for about 2.5 years. So it was a lot of just putting all my checks, most of my checks, into trading, whether it's so initially I'd put my checks into Forex because I was trading Forex after I started trading options. So I'd made the swap to Forex, but I didn't really know about prop firms yet, right? So I put my money into a live Forex account, and then I would start trading that from there. And a decent chunk of change I lost from that too. Like, if I was to add up all the money I lost, I probably lost around like 10K in just trading Forex. So that was a decent lesson there too. But obviously I learned a lot about just price action and just learning about the chart. So I think it's pretty worth it. And then I got into Forex prop firms. When I found out about Forex prop firms, I started paying for those. And this was before they all started getting shut down. This was like after the My Forex funds got shut down, but then everything was still up. I was still trading with Forex prop firms, but then eventually I ended up blowing all my Forex accounts, never passed a single account. I was basically I just didn't know what I was doing for the first 2 years essentially of my trading career. And so I was down a lot of money, and then I was recommended to make the switch from Forex to futures. So then I decided to make the switch to futures. And so my first prop firm, and the only prop firm I traded with so far, is Top Step. So bought my first $50 Top Step account, tried passing it, didn't work. And so eventually when you realize that after so long, like, and you just keep messing up, obviously you're doing something wrong. So that's when I found TJR, and he was making his bootcamp videos and whatever. So I watched a lot of his bootcamp videos, learning about all the fundamentals of ICT, whatever, all that jazz. And then eventually, with just that strategy of liquidity streak, break your structure, retrace to the fair value gap, enter, like just off that model, I was able to pass my first futures prop firm account. But I actually didn't get any payouts from it. I eventually blew it just because, like, I passed the account, I was really excited, very giddy, and then I'm just over trading, over leveraging, and then the account was gone in like 2 days. I ended up finding a mentor, and so I learned everything that the mentor had to offer, learned their model, learned about psychology and how to keep yourself under control when you're trading. And so after studying from that mentor, eventually my checks from McDonald's would come in about like every 2 weeks. I'm working full time as a manager, and I'm making $22.50 an hour. So my checks would come in around like 1.1, 1.2K. And so a lot of my checks ended up going just to trading. So I'd put $250 into 5 combines. And then eventually, after learning through my mentor, the model and all the psychology, I ended up passing all 5 of those accounts from copy trading. And then eventually, it actually led up to me getting my first payout of around 4.5K. I got a payout of like $900 per account because I was only risking 5 micros at the time, and I was just catching 30 to 50 points, which ended up adding up to around like 1.8K per account, which were off 50%. So it's around $900 per account. So that was my first ever payout. And then after that month, I started consistently getting payout after payout after payout. And so last year, November and December, I'm getting 2 15K payouts. And then after those 2 months this year, every month I've been getting consistently a payout around 5 to 10K. And so eventually I would save up all my money from all the payouts, and I was still working. Like, I literally quit a month ago, so I was still working up until a month ago. And so all my payout money I would save into a high yield, and then all the money that I would make from work would end up going to hanging out with friends, or I'd put them into more combines if I ended up blowing my accounts. So I don't know if you can see on the board here, but my 2025 goal was to hit 100K net worth. And so my plan was, once I hit 100K in net worth, I would eventually quit my job. And so I was able to achieve that. I didn't achieve it 100%, but I achieved it like close enough. And like, they ended up cutting a lot of hours of people, and so I wasn't really looking forward to going to work anymore. Therefore, I decided to just throw the rag in and just quit. And so now at 21 years old, I'm a full-time day trader, which feels kind of weird because I'm not working at a job that I don't really like. I kind of just go day by day doing whatever. So it's pretty nice, but like after a month of just kind of dilly-dallying and not really doing much, I realized like quitting my job and going full-time is actually only the start. Like, the grind doesn't stop there, you have to keep going. So yeah, that's how I became a full-time day trader.